track, kick you right square between the legs and say, hey, let's kick some ass. And then even having an album end with on the right note and the right mood. And that's just me. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. Maybe I'm whatever. But to me, that has a lot of importance as a listener. I'm disappointed by a opening track that sucks when the second and third track are clearly better choices. And I'm like, why did this person choose this song instead of that? As an artist yourself, do you fight that battle as well of, okay, what should I pick for my first track? How much thought and, I guess, time do you put into like track order essentially on an album?
Probably too much time, but I do think about all those things. I want it to flow. I want them to kind of fit together. I just want it to be, you have your highs and your lows, and I agree. I like to come out, banging in your face right away. And usually I'll have a faster song at the beginning. But this time I went for a little more of a mid-tempo song, I guess, a little more emotion and feeling in it. But, no, yeah, I anguish over that. I anguish over everything. The mixes, I'll listen to it. I think I got a perfect running order, and I'll play it 20 times in a row and go, I got to move those two songs around. But, maybe I'm overanalyzing it, but I appreciate that people look at albums that way, because if you're just buying songs, which a lot of people do nowadays, you're missing the whole point of the effort that went into it, where somebody took time to figure out the running order to make it flow for a reason,
Yeah, I cannot tell you, Biv, let me ask you. I cannot tell you the last time I'm like, oh, let me buy a song. I either buy the album or I don't. That's just me.
I'm the same way, absolutely. But I think it's the era we grew up in. I mean, you'd go buy a Dio record, and, you played it from song 1 through song 10. I mean, that's just the way it was.
Yeah, I'm not a skipper. I don't skip songs either. I'll listen to a whole album by somebody.
Well, they don't ever get in the car with Jason then. Just don't ever.
Oh, that's true.
I have a friend that was like, I was driving around with this girl back in New York a couple summers ago, and she kept skipping songs. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm trying to find a certain song.
No, hold on. Hold on. I got to clarify for those who are listening, and Steve, for you as well. I do have music ADD. I will admit that. But it's usually only to have the person I'm in the car with saying, oh, dude, I haven't told you about these guys. Let me play something for you that they do. Does that make any sense? So I'll be a minute and a half, 2 minutes into a track from band A, and I'll go, oh, shit, I never told you about band B. Oh, do you got to hear the song? That's what happens.
As long as you do that with me, it's okay, man. Go for it.
Well, there you go. I can do that.
Well, just don't skip for me. Just go to me.
No, of course not. Why the hell would I do that?
Well, speaking of CDs, Steve, what are you listening to right now besides your own material? What else are you listening to? What would I find in your playlist or your CD player right now?
Well, actually, I'm working on 3 of 3 right now, so that's pretty much all I've been listening to for the last week or so. Again, I'm at I mixed it now. I'm analyzing the mixes and the running order, but I did pick up the new Anvil. I'm old school metal, so I listen to Anvil and a band that I don't know, maybe you guys heard. Yeah, I'm sure you heard of Nordic Union. It's a singer from Pretty Maids.
Yeah,
the guitar player from Eclipse. That's a pretty good disc. I don't know if you've heard that yet or not, but
I have not heard it.
No, what's funny is
if you're a Pretty Maids fan, you'll like it because of the guy's voice, So
good old Ronnie Atkins, great stuff, and actually our last guest on the show from Anubis Gates playing on the new Pretty Maids album. So figure that out.
Is that right? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't even hear him say that.
Well, actually, he didn't divulge that at the time. He kind of told us like off the air, like, I got something I can't really say, but I think it'll be official soon, and that's what it was.
Oh, okay. That's actually pretty cool. That's one of those bands I've liked forever, too, Pretty Maids, and so many people lost touch with them, They think that Future World, I think, was their last album, and that's it, but they've continued to put out great record after record, But that's really what I listen to, a lot of older school metal, not too many new bands, a lot of offshoot bands or bands that are this guy from this band and this band, like the Nordic Union Project,
Kind of supergroup kind of stuff, which is always good.
Yeah. And the thing is with that is I wish that they would, sometimes they just do one disc and that's it and they're gone, But we'll see. Maybe there'll be more.
Well, Steve, is there a band out there now? If you've listened to the show, and I know you have, I do a segment at the end called Biv's Best Band You've Never Heard of. Is there a band out there, an artist out there that we haven't heard of that we should?
Well, I would say that Nordic Union is probably one of them. If nobody's checked that out, they really should.
Okay.
I mean, Chakra's another band that's been around forever, but they're not real well known in the U.S. But they've been around forever, and they're a great band. It's just there's so many good bands out there that don't get the exposure in the U.S. because everybody's listening to Justin Bieber and whatever else is being jammed down their throats.
That's what Jason listens to. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's actually we have a spin-off podcast, Steve. I was gonna see if you were interested in actually hosting the first ever episode of According to Bieber. We're gonna start that next week.
I better start doing some research then.
Yeah, get caught up, dude. He's got a lot of stuff that we really need to get in depth and talk about.
I mean, I will admit the kid he's talented, but I just, I'm a rock guy, I gotta see somebody playing a guitar and singing.
Hell yes, I absolutely agree. So, Steve, man, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for joining the show. For those who are listening, Steve, give us an idea. What's the best way that people can contact not only you on social media and stuff like that, but how can they get a hold of your stuff?
Well, digitally, it's on iTunes, Amazon. CD Baby's always the cheapest. You can buy physical CDs at CD Baby and Amazon, but you're going through like these chains and they mark it up and blah blah blah. So, and the other band I have is Cyanide Scream, which is you can get all that stuff at all those places too. Any of the the major online digital distributors, if you're into that, and if you like physical CDs, those are pretty much the places you can get them at.
Very cool. Well, Steve Cohn, joining us on the According to Metal. Thank you so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. When 3 of 3 comes out, man, we want to have you back on the show and tell us all about that because we can't wait to review it as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually probably going to press that one up and do that as a CD just because I think there are people that still like to have a CD in their hand, even though, I probably make about the same amount of money off digital sales as I do off physical, but got to make those people happy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Count us in, dude. Absolutely. Thanks again, Steve, for joining the show, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, guys. It was a blast.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, take care, Steve.
Take care.
To check out the entire episode or previous episodes of the According to Metal podcast, simply click subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, or the podcatcher of your choice. It's the According to Metal podcast. Latest news, reviews, interviews, and all things metal. Subscribe. You know you want to. That is, unless, I don't know, you like Coldplay or something.